And it's a happy Wednesday to all of you. Thank you for joining Weighted to Win. We trust all been good so far with you as we're going to the middle of the week and we've got a Hollywood Bets Grave. We'll be back there at the Poly Track. We've got 8 races to get through for you. And tricky card, the guys tell me. Not easy, so let's hope we can fight our way through it and get some of the action this afternoon. All right, just a reminder about it's Weighted to Win and our WhatsApp and all of that sort of stuff. It's all up there for you from a social media perspective to engage, and we'd love to hear from you and keep the show as alive as possible. Right, Darren Burrows on the line from Cape Town. I'll now come to Daryl Marie in a moment. Morning, Darren, and let's talk about this opener, the start of the first race. I want to just talk to you about the market this morning when we were doing the show, give you an idea as to what they were doing. And Grey Ocean 3-1, number 3 on the card. You see Muzi's taking the ride again for Gavin Van Zyl Senior. Number 6 on the card, Leslie's To Path Fame is trading at 4-1. And number 7, Quizmaster is trading at around 9-2. Then you can get 8-1 about Path to Finder, and then double figures about everything else. So it's a buy pot. Can we depend on Muzi any?
Well, it's difficult to say. Grey Ocean, in his penultimate start, he got beat 3 lengths by Brave Voyager, and Brave Voyager's won from 1 course and distance. So they both got chances. Quizmaster is my first choice. He's a course and distance winner. He's never far off the action, and his rating's starting to drop. Keegan DeMello in the saddle. So I'm going number 7 over Leslie's Path to Fame, the 6, and then Brave Voyager and Grey Ocean for minor money.
Okay. Quizmaster. Aren't you connected to the connections there with Quizmaster, Darren?
No.
You're not connected there, okay. All right, so Quizmaster, first choice for Darren Burrows. You, Daryl Marie?
Yeah, I do fancy him. I just don't like the fact that he's been coughing in his latest 2 starts.
Oh, okay.
Clyde, I think Path to Fortune, have a look at his rating. He's down to a 58. Was as high as a 77, if I'm not mistaken. In my opinion, he has to start being competitive now. Of that low rating. I like that the fact that he's drawn out high. I don't think the inside draws or the low draws have favoured him in his last 2 starts. He's going to be my top pick, ahead of Quizmaster, and then health respect for Leslie's Path to Fame. I mean, he's a bit of a course and distance specialist. 4 out of his 6 career victories have been all over this track and trip, and the tongue tie stays off. If you fancy his chances, you have to give Grey Ocean a winning chance too.
Yeah.
So in order, 9, 7, 3 and 6.
Okay. Path to Fortune's trading around 17-2 the last time we had a look, thereabouts. Okay, let's get our selections up. Buy pots. Here we go. Enough of the talking. Now, this is what the guys like, and we'll start up with Daryl's buy pot, where he's going 3, 6, 7, 9, by 1, 3, 7, 9, 10, by 4 and 8, by 3, 4, 6, by 5 and 7, by 6 and 9. And the competitive card works out to a 480 Rand buy pot. It's a buy pot like, I'm not sure we're going to get a yesterday buy pot, result, but dividend-wise, but I think you are going to get a healthy return. So let's hopefully we can get that. Let's go on. Welcome, everybody. Let's get on to the second race. Place accumulator time now. The second race is a handicap fillies and mares at the 67 level over 1,000 metres. There are quite a few scratchings here, so make a note of that. And that does leave us just with a few runners in race number 2. Take out 4, 6 and 8 have been scratched, as well as the 2, 4, 6 and 8 are all scratched. Market-wise, Darren, we've got 28-10 about Capriana and 33-10 second joints after that, magically and done here, but quite competitive, is it not?
Very competitive. The recent maiden winner could be Progressive, get in the queue. Won a good maiden last time after a break. She was a runaway winner, and she could be above her rating, and she gets a 1.5 kilo apprentice allowance. There's not much separating Capriana, Donia, and New Orleans on that last run. There's only a length between them. So, and magically also not out of it. So wide open.
Okay, wide open. Not really sure which one to decide to go with. Have you got a preference by any chance, or is also open?
Possibly Capriana, just due to the fact that she shouldn't necessarily have to work to get into a striking position from a one-draw Clyde. Right. She's got early toe. She's only got 49.5 to shoulder. And in these type of races, luck in running does play a huge part. So I think she should run into the money. Getting the queue is very interesting now. I think she certainly benefited from the time off, because last time out she returned and she showed a lot of pace. It was on a sticky turf track, but if she can get into the race early, I think the connections have certainly expected more from her, and possibly now the penny has dropped with regards to her, and she could go on from here. Clyde, I can touch on each and every runner in this race and make a case for every one of them. So I've played wide in the first leg of the place accumulator.
I would imagine. I suppose at the end of the day, when you've got a horse like Capriano who's coming in here and carrying bottom weight, so to speak, carrying, what's it, 49 and a half, you said, eh? 49 and a half kilos. So when you look at that, I suppose it does ultimately give her a serious chance. So let's have a look at place accumulators now. Friend, put the perms up for you, and we'll go with Daryl's, where you've noticed he's gone quite a few. So 1, 3, 7, 9, and 10. By 4 and 8, by 3, 4, 6, by 5 and 7, by banker 9, banker 1, and 2 and 9 at the back of his PA. Right, we're going now of this distance, 1,600 metres, the third on the card. 18 to 10 about the Kotsonosia, such a cracker that Calvin Habib's riding. Darren, on the card, is this the closest to a bank, or how have you played it?
Well, I only like numbers 2 and 4 here. If you say so, Blinkers fitted last time over a mile and was run out of it very late on. The poly could be ideal with the short run in. And such a cracker. The Blinkers go on, didn't see out the 2000. So I thought 2 and 4 enough. I did include number 8 as well in the pick 6.
Okay. 2 and 4 in principle, the 2-horse race. So from Darren's side, you?
I went 4 and 8. I like such a crack over here, Clyde. She's back on the poly track. Penultimate start, she ran second. The winner on that occasion came out and ran second in her handicap debut. I like the fact that she's back on the poly track surface, coming back in trip, and a set of blinkers get fitted.
Yeah.
So she's going to be the one to beat, in my opinion. Strictly on form, number 8, top 10 has got her stone cold, but that was on a turf run. She beat her, and she's 4 kilograms better off. But I like the fact that she has placed on the poly track before. Go back to that run when she ran third behind Player in an open company. I think that puts her in with a chance of here. She's only got 53 to shoulder, so I'm going to go 4 from 8.
Okay. Maybe we can depend on the 4, such a cracker. Let's have a look at what the players then in terms of pick 6s. This is the plan. Just bear in mind there are a couple of scratchings. The 5 and 7 are not running in this race, if you don't know. So again, it'll be a smaller field. But 2, 4 and 8 for Darren in the first leg. Bearing in mind that such a cracker is his first choice. Ahead of 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8. 1, 2, 5, 6 and 7. 8 and 9, banker 1 later on, and then 1, 2, 3, 9 and 10. And for Darren Burrows, he's willing to spend 750. Let's go to Daryl Marie then and see what his plan is. He's going just the 2 horses, 4 and 8, with preference for the 4. Ahead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 5, 6, 7, 9 in the third leg. Then 2, 6 and 9. Then in Daryl's pick 6, he's looking to cover the 1 and go 1, 2, 5 and 8. And 2, 3, 9 at the back. He's spending a bit more at 1,800 for a full perm. Yeah, they bet 4 to 1 the field now. First leg of the jackpot at 10:30 this morning. They had 3 Unique Power, 4 Dougie Campbell and Rachel Venica, top of the boards at 4 to 1. My personal first choice. 9 on the card is the priced up at second favourite, Coromandel, and that's at 9 to 2. 6 to 1 about number 6, One Shot Wonder. And then you can get around, I'd say 13 to 2, 7 to 1 Fever, Fleet Commander. It becomes more challenging. It's an open race, 4 to 1 the field, but Unique Power, first choice, my side. Darren, what do you like?
Unique Power is a very big horse, and I'm hoping that he goes handy. He'll stay on all the way to the line. So he will be my first choice, but I have respect for the 7-year-old Cesura. Now his rating's starting to drop. He's got a decent draw, the drop back in trip. I think everything's in his favour to run a big race, and then One Shot Wonder's not out of it.
Okay, so for you, what's your first choice?
Yeah, I like Cesura, Clyde.
Also Cesura,
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, he's a better poly sort. So last time out he was on the turf. His penultimate starts was over distance too far. Go back 3 runs, he ran 4th off a 72. He's now for 69. I think he's off a competitive mark. So I think he should run into the money. Could possibly win.
He likes course and distance. Is quite.
I think he's got an each-way claim. And then, like the other two, Darren touched on, Unique Power and One Shot Wonder. There's very little separating the two of them. So each way for me, number 4, Dangers 3-6. But the race doesn't stop there. A horse like Master of Law, I think if he gets to the front, he could prove very dangerous. If not, I think they're going to quicken on by him. But, you know, he's capable in his day. And Fever as well, I think his later start, he's much better than that effort. Yeah. So, I don't know what to add. Say 0 each way, Clyde.
I like the way, interesting enough, the way Rachel's horse was running on last time, Unique Power, Richard. But that was over, you know, now they've dropped in distance, haven't they? Was it the
it's still the same course in distance.
Still a mile, but I see that his rate, I mean, his course, but in particular the Poly, although, you know, he's run a good few times, he's found money, but I don't know if he's been close enough. That's my only concern, you know. Otherwise, I'd like to have a go with Unique Power today.
Well, you know what, Clyde, put your money down and you'll find out at exactly 4:15, you'll know if you're wrong or right.
I just like the whole, the way this horse is presented, I think is on form, got to have a serious chance. Cesara, Tristan got in first time.
As far as I know, I don't think he's
change of rider.
Yeah. Yes, stronger handling. So,
okay, so that's interesting. Note that because it's important, so to speak. Tristan got on Cesara for the first time, and certainly on form, exposed form. Right, here we go. We've got a jackpot. We work it out for you. In this case, the boys have put as many as they can, and as you can see, the whole day, it's one of those cards. It's not easy, so they've loaded, and they're looking for results. We'll just leave that up on the screen for you for a little while so you can make a note of what that jackpot looks like. And if you want with them, you can spend 672 Rand.
Clyde, with regards to say 0, Tristan has actually won on him in the past.
Oh, well, there you go. So that may be an omen. It may well be an omen. There you go. So that could be the horse, Cesara, but that's opening leg of the pot. Welcome back. Let's get on to race number 5 now. Time for the second jackpot. If we need to get a second jackpot on, let's do that. Market perspective, 10:30 this morning. I can tell you that Fashion Enigma traded at 33-10, joined with number 7, Miss Lila, and then 5-1 about a horse like Bell Starbuster. You can get some information on the social media that's on the screen at the moment as well. All right, let's go to Darren. Let's talk about the race. Fashion Enigma. I haven't seen, I'll ask Daryl in a moment if he knows what Hollywood bets have commented about Fashion Enigma, but Alison Wright and Rachel Venica team up here. Are they the ones to beat, or what do you like?
It's an open race, but Fashion Enigma is one of my leading lights in the race. Last time I slightly overdid it over the 19. I think the drop back to 18 is going to be ideal. 1.5 kilos off her back, 1 draw, so she can place her nicely. Miss Lila, only 53 to shoulder. If she stays the trip, she should be right there. Reckless Love at a big price. I don't think she's out of the play. I think off her current rating, she should run a big race. And then Miss Missouri returning after a bit of a break, but could run into the money.
Okay, thanks, Darren. Now let's go on to, let's talk to Daryl about the race. Daryl, what do you like?
Miss Lila, probably, Clyde. I thought a little bit unlucky in her later start. She came from a long way back. She was closing in hand over first, and one has to believe, based on that finishing effort, the extra is going to suit her. I just hope they adopt similar tactics, and she can be doing her best work late. Reckless Love, back on the poly track surface. Penultimate start, she had excuses. Barring that, she's been relatively close up in recent starts. Fashion Enigma, not disgraced in her handicap debut. Like Darren touched on, she needs to settle in running. And you know, this combination of Alison Wright and Keegan Nabelo, although she won on the turf last time out, the fact that he retains the ride, she could have more to offer.
Okay. All right, so what are we doing? Is it a second pot? And Keegan Nabelo, he's been riding incredibly well. You can't take anything away from Keegan right now. You have to watch him very, very closely. Let's put another jackpot up for you. This is what the guys are recommending, where we're going 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, by 2, 6, 8, 9, by 1, 2, 5, 8, and at the back we're going 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. If you take it that way, it will cost you 480 Rand for a full pair. Let's talk about the next race on the card over 2,000 meters. 5-2 about Exceeder for the Kanamea Demela combination here. Eventador is at 4-1 second choice, and 5-1 about Cherokee Trail, who's number 2 on the card. That was at about 10:30. I see that Banzai Pipeline. Number 3 is at 7s, 8s and better the rest. All right, what does Dean Kannemeyer say, Darren Burrows?
Well, Clyde, this horse is a big, long striding horse. He stays all day. And Keegan de Mello learned how to ride him last time out. He let him use his action and go handy. And then he asked him the question quite early in the straight, and he just kept on finding another gear. And I'm hoping from a wide draw that they adopt similar tactics and go forward. I know there is quite a bit of pace in the race, but if he's in a handy position and let loose at the 400, I think he's still ahead of the handicapper. So I'm going Exceeder to beat Jean Carlos.
Okay, Exceeder ahead of Jean Carlos. Daryl, your first two?
Yeah, I read Exceeder very similar to Darren. I like the fact that he's drawn out wide. I don't want to see him caught on the fence, Clyde. This horse needs to unwind, and I'm hoping he's one off the fence and Keegan gets stuck into him early once again because he just keeps on finding. Last time, if you had your money on him, turning for him, you would have thought you in big, big trouble. It looked like he was under pressure, but he just kept on finding. And I don't believe a £4 penalty is going to discount his chances today. So here's my topic. Eventador is very interesting. Now, this is horse, they forgot to card the blinkers again, Clyde. Remember?
Yes.
So the blinkers do get refitted. I mean, he's 1 with the blinkers on. So one has to believe he's better than his later start. And he's a kilo and a half better off with Exceeder. He just needs to settle in running. So he's going to be my danger to Exceeder. And Cherokee Trail. Clyde, this horse is improving with each and every start. He loved the step up in trip, lightly raced. I know the field that he beat last time out isn't really, the form line hasn't really stood up. But I don't believe we've seen the best of him yet. And so he's unexposed of this trip. If he appreciates the step up in distance once again, he could feature over here. So
Keegan de Mello's got the answer here because he's ridden all of these dangers, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Yeah. So maybe...
but I don't believe he had a choice over here. He's where he's going to ride.
No, but he'll have the answer.
He'll have the answer.
Won't he?
Doesn't mean it's the result.
Yeah, true. Maybe if Warren Lanfern is listening, Warren, you can ask Keegan de Mello for us what does he think of the race, because it's interesting to hear his opinion. Any comment from Hollywood Bets on Eventador in this particular race?
No, you're asking me, Clyde.
Well, have a look and tell us if you've got anything going. But whilst we're doing that, let's put our selection up and we'll come back to Daryl and see what the comment is, if you don't mind. Ricky? Yes? Okay, here's the selection. We're going Exceeder. Darren's going Exceeder a place and Ralph the Rascal a place. So that's an all to come is recommending for you. Exceeder a place and Ralph the Rascal. Okay. Right, any news on Eventador,
Yes,
Daryl?
he does meet a competitive field, but he's capable of finishing in the placings.
Welcome back, and let's take a look at the 7th now in this particular event. And we've got Steven Schlengwitz riding Ralph the Rascal, taking the 4 kilos off, which is certainly going to help its chances. I thought that Bott's got a chance, but that form line was his first time on the poly, but the form line hasn't held up that well, as Darren will tell you. And, of course, Maximus has got to have a chance as well. Perhaps it's those three. Let's go to Darren now and talk about the race. Market-wise, 5-2 Maximus. Again, Keegan de Mello's ridden quite a few of these horses here, so he may have an opinion or you'll know. Your view, Darren?
Well, Maximus, I think he's better over a little bit further. And then touching on Bots, now that form line hasn't stood up at all, I like Ralph the Rascal quite strongly. Last time out, we labelled him. He got up to win. Go back 2 runs. He ran third to Wiccan Warrior. The second place runner was Kitchakal, who came to Cape Town and ran second in a very strong progress plate behind Winchester Mansion. Now, Ralph the Rascal got a 4-point penalty, but now he gets 4 kilos off his back, which accounts for 8 points. So I think handicap to win, Ralph the Rascal from a 1 draw, I think he should go close.
Okay. Ralph the Rascal is trading at 7-2. Daryl?
Snap.
Got it.
Yeah, I like Ralph the Rascal, Clyde. I think he's really improved with the blinkers. 1 draw, 4 kgs off his back. He's actually beaten Metallic Gold, giving him 8.5 kilograms. Maximus beat Metallic Gold at level weights. On a line through Metallic Gold, Ralph the Rascal is certainly the right one. Maximus, you can't discount his chances. He's very, very consistent. Now that he's been put in the race, you can't fault him. But I do have a preference for Ralph the Rascal. Like Darren touched on, Bortz's form line is very, very suspect. 12 runners, Clyde. 11 have run unplaced. Haven't hit the board. And then Count Marsh, he's a gutsy front runner. We saw White Cedar win from that form line. Wouldn't be a shock to see him win. But I'm keen on how Ralph the Rascal goes today. I'm hoping he can follow.
What's the comment from Hollywood? Bets? Have you got that for us?
Sure. Clyde, you're putting us
Since
under pressure
you're
here.
involved and got access to
Let's have a
the
look here.
social media. What did they say?
A good run is expected, and he has an each-way chance.
Okay, so there's a bit of confidence there. Good run expected. Each way chance from the connections. Here's a look at what we're doing with one more race to go after this. This is the plan. We're taking, well, Daryl suggests, or Darren and Daryl for that matter, Ralph the Rascal, the one to beat. Let's get on to the last race of the day. This is the recommendation here where Royal Kitty, Alison Wright, Keegan DeMello, they team up, priced up at around 5-2. Venturous number 3 is at 5-1. Number 9, Capriccio, is trading at 5-1. That's Gareth Funzel Jr. And then 6-1 about number 10 on the card. 7s and better the others. All right, Darren, let's see what we're going to do. If we need to get out stakes the last race, what's the plan? Is it a Keegan DeMello race or is there something else?
Well, Royal Kitty is going to run another honest race. You know, she has picked up a 6-point penalty in her last 2 starts, and she should be right there. I found also Forged in Ice. Now, she won her maiden over 1,400 meters in her penultimate start by 3.9 lengths. There's been 2 winners, 2 direct winners from that form line, including Fashion Enigma and Quanabi. Last time out, overdid it slightly over the mile. I think the drop back in chip's going to suit. So 2, 1, and then 3, 9, and 10 have chances.
Okay, so Forged in Ice. What price is this horse that Darren's talking about? It's trading at 12-1 at the moment. Well held on its last start, though.
Yeah, she never got to the front. She actually had her stable companion ahead of her, and I don't think she was going quick enough.
Yeah.
She was just overdoing it.
What's your first choice?
On paper, I like number 9, Capriccio. Go back to that run, Clyde. I think it's the Arctic Princess run.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a length and a half to find on Royal Kitty, but she's 6 kilograms better off at the weights. That puts her into contention over here. Change of tactics last time out. She went to Andy, fought them off. I'm sure they're going to go forward with her once again. And I think she could trouble the favourite over here. Venturous. Now, I do like her win on the polytrack, Clyde. That form line has stood up. Marsharia Moore won, Iron Chef won. She's back on the polytrack. And when she won on that occasion, she did it effortlessly. So she's going to be in my top 3 picks over here. But I think Capriccio on paper should be thereabouts.
Okay, well, Calvin Abbott retains the ride on Venturous, and maybe that's something to keep in common and include in the play. You heard from Daryl, and there were a few here again. Capriccio, where they've met Royal Kitty, Forged in Ice. Okay, let's get to our selections, the last race. What is it going to be in terms of the final round? It's a quartet that we'd like to go into, and we're recommending that we go 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. Box those in the quartet for 120 Rand. Let's hope we can treble our money.